What's up guys, in the works, and we are playing some more Battlefield 3 PC, and this is a game I was using to compare and contrast. I came into this lobby and I was trying to do a video talking a little bit about the differences in the burst fire weapons and the fully auto weapons in the game. So you're going to see me using the M16A4 towards the end of the video, but I started off with the M416 Silence or M416. They're pretty similar weapons since they are based off each other to a certain degree, so that is what you'll be seeing, so there's the disclaimer. But we're going to talk about the patch, aka the February PC and console patch that DICE has been talking about for so long. Well, this morning I woke up and like I do usually in the mornings, I drink my cup of tea. I come in here and I sat down on Battlelog and I was perusing the forums, because I always look in the forums to see what the biggest complaint topic tends to be, because anytime you go into a forum, usually it's just a bunch of people whining, which, that's what forums have always been. But I'm looking through there and I see someone talking about that there's a new news post, new news post on Battlelog. DICE had posted that there actually is going to be a minor PC patch tomorrow at 8 a.m. So depending on when you're watching this, that is February the 14th at 8 a.m. UT, which is a Swedish time zone, I believe. Not really sure. I mean, you can do the conversions. It's probably early in the morning if you're in the Midwest, so I don't know. Anyways, apparently this patch is going to fix a couple things that nobody really wanted fixed and or didn't really know about it. Well, first of all, it's going to put support for the new Intel processors that haven't even been released, so whatever there. It's going to fix crashes on canals and Firestorm. Both those things only happen if you're in a vehicle, and it only happens like pretty rarely. I've had it happen to me once. I've had people complain about it happening, but I don't think it's really a huge issue. I mean, I know it's a frustrating issue, but I think the server disconnects that Battlelog often gives you is a little bit more important, at least in my eyes, than what they're fixing here. But the final fix is support for the new AMD graphics cards, which are the 7000 series. So that's actually a pretty cool fix, because those are some awesome cards. But anyways, yeah, improvements on those. So this led me to believe, because DICE had been talking about so long how they're going to have this February patch, and a lot of people had been anticipating the February patch, as was I, obviously. And a lot of people want the patch more than they want DLC, which is understandable, because you would want your game to be fixed before you want, the company's worried about DLC. So it turned, my wheels started turning in my head, and I'm like, wait a second. I'm wondering if this patch right here, because DICE said February, and February isn't a very long month. And it's starting to dwindle down to where we're like, okay, when is this patch coming? Is it going to be a February patch? And I was like, I bet you they released this patch as an attempt to kind of say, well, that was the February patch, that kind of to cover their butts sort of situation. Because, let's be honest, they've been talking about patching this game since November, when they released the first patch. Now, PC, they've gotten small patches here and there. Console, we only got the console players. And, I do play on console quite often. I play with my friends on console. But mainly, I'm a PC Battlefield player. That's what I play on. And console is 2 patches behind, to the point where it's just like, is console ever going to catch up? So I can understand why a lot of, especially PS3 players, are frustrated with a lot of things in the game, and that they really have just been waiting for this patch for so long. And I don't think it's fair that DICE hasn't been transparent enough with its fans, because this is a game that they expect to be around for 2 years, and if you expect the game to be around for that long, you're going to need to support it. And so far they're off to a pretty rough start in my eyes, especially in the console market. So I'm interested to see how they address a lot of the criticisms, because Battlelog was in chaos this morning. People were really mad that they released this minor patch, which I've never heard of people getting upset about a minor patch. I mean, I wasn't upset. I was more disappointed, because I thought it was going to be a patch with some actual substance to it, instead of just a kind of, small fixes here and there, because there are a lot of things that DICE tends to say they're going to fix and then never does. If you guys are a Battlefield Bad Company 2 player, you know that tends to be a case. It took them forever to start fixing some of the weapon balances in Bad Company 2. But the biggest kicker that makes me believe that the patch is going to be delayed till at least March is that in fine print at the end of the news post, which I will link in the description, it says that we would also like to inform the community that we have several ongoing developments with regards to balance and gameplay performance, stability, and the overall feature set that will be released in the coming weeks. So coming weeks means that we are going to be waiting even longer. I mean, anytime you say coming weeks, it means at least 3 weeks. At least that is the journalistic definition of that. You've always got to wait. I mean, usually if you use coming weeks, it means more than 2.5 weeks, because otherwise you would say 2 weeks, a few weeks. For it to say coming weeks means it's about 3 weeks. So that leads me to believe that this patch that we've been waiting on is going to be delayed till at least early March. If I was a betting man, I would say that the patch might come out, whenever they finally announce the DLC. They'll probably release the patch and the DLC around the same time. So kind of disappointing news, guys. I hate to be the one to bring it to you, but I felt like talking about it because it was an issue that I think a lot of people were upset about this morning, because they thought it was going to be the actual patch when it turned out to be a patch that didn't really patch anything that the majority of us cared about. So yeah, minor patch. Click all the links in the description, and hopefully you guys found this video informative, and if you did, go ahead and give it a like. If not, you can dislike it. It won't hurt my feelings, but I will see you guys later. Peace.